So I have to give unfortunately, very negative report on driving electric. I have the car now for about 2 weeks, and it's incredibly tiring to always go and charge the car. Especially when I only did another 360 kilometers with a charge. That's from 100% until 15%. That is 360 kilometers that I did with the car. And now I'm charging. But the problem is that they recommend like for it to go to up to 80% maximum charge. So the problem is that if I use actually only 80% of the battery and I have to recharge before 20% of the battery, because it otherwise takes too long to recharge. That means that I might maybe, with some luck, maybe have 200 or 250 kilometers out of one electric charge. So it's true, you're constantly charging. I have to go and find a loading dock almost every 2 days, 2 or 3 days. So this is not a car for somebody that does a lot of mileage, a lot of kilometers, that has to be on the road every day. Salespersons, for example, representatives that have to visit maybe 10 clients a day, or maybe 6 clients a day even. If you have to do that, you're pretty much screwed, because you are losing too much valuable time. As for riding impressions of this car, it's a nice car, this Ford Explorer. It drives like any other car would drive. If you would buy it in a diesel version or in a petrol version, you can't say a lot of things about the way that it drives. It's an ugly car. I have to admit that. I don't like the interior, how it's set up, especially with this very small, you can see this very small dashboard. Although it does have some nice speakers in it, like apparently these are speakers that blow the sound into your ears, into your face. So it does have a nice sound of stereo. But also it's limited, I think, until 85 decibels or something like that, because it's obligated from the European Union, because politicians want to protect our ears. But that being said, anyway, interior of the car, the setup of the car, it's all very nice. The only problem that this car has is the electric component, the batteries. And this is not the only car. I tested a few others a while back, electric, all the same problems. One of the worst one was the R5, the new Renault R5. He does even less kilometers per charge. You are lucky to get even 300 kilometers out of a charge. So this is not my kind of car. I hope that Ford comes to its senses and will offer this car in a diesel version, or at least a petrol or gasoline version, fuel version, so that you can do at least 600 kilometers on at least one fuel top up, and at least maybe even if you had the diesel version of this one, which is also considerably lighter, because this is a 2.2 ton car, so this is a heavy car, thanks to the batteries. So if you have a diesel version of it, which is going to be much lighter, maybe even only 1500 or 1800 kilograms. So the reality of the matter is that it's going to do a lot of more kilometers or miles on one fuel top-up. If you have 65 liters that go in it, in the diesel version, well, you easily can do 900 until 1000 kilometers on one fuel tank. This car is simply impossible. It's too heavy because of the batteries, and the batteries simply use too much energy to propel the car forward. It pulls nicely. It's got a lot of acceleration in it. It's a 200 horsepower car, but the fact of the matter is it's simply using too much power. If you see on average, if I can find it here, voertuigen on the setup here, you see you got 21.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So that's a lot. That's quite a lot. I mean, if you would have to have a car that is at least anywhere between 12 to 15 liters for every 100 kilometers usage, you have to use. I mean, I have a Ford Ranger pickup. He doesn't consume that. The Ford Ranger pickup is around 9 liters. 9, not 15. This is not a Ford pickup. This is a small SUV. So, yeah, if you like the car, buy it. But I would have to be honest, I wouldn't buy it. At 45k, 45,000 euros for this car, that's...
Sorry, dat kan ik nog niet.
So now it's beginning to talk out of itself, but don't matter. But I'm just saying that at 45,000 euros for this car, that's a lot of money. And no, you're not going to drive freely, even if you have the solar panels and the home battery stuff and etc. Because it's all an investment. You have to almost invest anywhere between 150,000 and 100,000 euros for this car. So if you're gonna take that into account in the price cost per mile or per kilometer here in Europe, that's an expensive car. That's a really expensive car. And then you got also the problem of the battery. The value of the car is retained in how good the battery is after 5 years or after 7 years or whatever. So that's a long time. And if you're let's say that the battery is diminished by maybe 50% after, let's say 7 years. Let's give it 7 years to have the battery diminished by maybe 50%. Then we have to be honest. The value of the car is maybe 10,000 euros. Certainly not more, because if I see the range now at barely 350, 360 kilometers, that means if the battery gives out for 50%, yeah, that's barely 200 kilometers on one charge that you will do with a car that is 7 years old. So even if you give it 10 years old, let's make it 10 years old. Who is going to buy a 10-year-old electric car that can only do maybe 200 kilometers on a charge? Nobody. Nobody in their right mind is going to buy such a car. It's that simple. So if you like my content, like and subscribe. I hope to see some stuff in the comments about it. Would you buy electric? Do you trust the system already? Do you have an electric car? What are your experiences with the electric car? Because I don't own this one. I just tested, and I'm gonna test a few others now. So tell me about it. I'm really curious how the market is going to change the coming years, in and from to fossil fuel cars to electric cars. I hope, and that's my honest opinion, I hope that we still have a choice in 10 years. I hope that we get to choose in 10 years when the European Union decides to only allow electric cars. I hope that this is something that they're not going to do. I really hope that as a consumer that they will have respect for the free market and let the consumer decide what kind of cars they should buy, because unless it's our money, it's we that have to pay these cars, we the consumer who has to pay these cars. So if we have to pay the car, we also are entitled to choose what kind of car we want, whether it's diesel or gasoline car or electric. At least let people have the choice of what they want to work for, because they have to go to work for it. Anyways, thank you for listening and hope to hear you soon.